Right, we are back with another episode. Today, we're discussing why dieting is easy for us now. But was it always that way?
No, it's muscle mass. It's always going to be the cheat code, and I just don't think people appreciate how much of a difference it makes having an appreciable amount of muscle in your frame. It has got exponentially easier to diet as the years have gone on for me. Every single diet gets easier than the last. Why? Because there's another 1, 2, 3 kilos of muscle mass on my frame every single cut. And it baffles me how many people are still trying to lose fat and expecting their dream physique to be at the end of it. This is the theme of 80% of my Instagram content. I'm like, what are you dieting to reveal? Like, what are you expecting to be under there? And the guys that go, oh, I still don't have abs. And I'm like, yeah, or biceps, or delts, or like what we need to do now is spend some serious time chucking some slabs of muscle in your frame, because there's a few reasons, right? There's a few things. It's like, of course, muscle mass itself, but we also then have to appreciate time and everything that comes with the patience and time, like the skills that you develop along the way when it comes to just spending the time knuckling down and doing the hard shit. And again, you know, women especially, even more so at times, some of the women that they come to me and they want to diet down to this physique that this dream physique that they want, and I'm like, okay, but that's still the other side of, you're sending me someone who's 10 years deep into their journey and they've spent 10 years lifting weights and 10 years eating 150, 160 grams of protein a day, and this is your day one. You are literally sending me you want year 8 results in 6 weeks, and that's the problem.
And I actually think, like you said, it's time, but it's also the skill
100%.
of doing it year after year.
Yep.
Every single time I've dieted, I remember the first time I dieted. How old was I? I actually dieted when I was 14 years old.
I was about the same, about 16, I think.
I remember I was going away on a sports tour. My diet, I'm not even joking, I remember it. Breakfast was 2 Weetabix, milk, half a bag of sugar.
Yeah, of course.
And then I'd go to school and I'd eat 2 chicken salads, literally chicken breast and salad, dry. And then I'd go home and I'd eat the same thing. And guess what? I looked like fucking shit. Because there was no muscle.
I think I told you my first proper cut, when I was a few years after that, so about 18, 19. I was doing fasted HIIT. I literally lost all the muscle that I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't have a clue what I was doing. I didn't know what calories and macros were back then. It was the same thing. I'd just be trying to create this healthy diet or this diet that was just like, I just got bigger and smaller, like 10 kilos went up or down on the scales and nothing really changed. But 100%, the skill, and again, this is one of the hardest things to coach, because you know, you have people, obviously everyone starts in a different place and people pick things up quickly, but I had a very profound conversation with a client the other day where, you know, they did thank me for it afterwards, because I'm very professional in my call outs. It's always attacking the behaviour and not the person, but it was along the lines of, I was like, this is stuff that you should have dialed in week 3 or 4, because for me, I coach people in the early stages. You can't coach people hard. I don't think it's sensible at all. I think you have to be. There's a little element of making people understand. Adherence is the probably easiest way to put it, but also standards and effort and all these things. Because a lot of the time you have to remember, if someone started from incredibly low standards, they might think it's a lot of effort to just be doing more steps than they were doing and not having a takeaway at the weekend. That's good. They actually will class that as good. And exactly like you just said, there's a whole skill of actually understanding what's actually required. And as coaches, it's one of the most important things that we do, because I've had when people go, well, before I was eating takeaways 3-4 times a week and lunches on the go, I was eating out, you know, in total 8 times a week, and I was doing no steps. Now I'm doing 10,000 steps a day, and I'm, you know, tracking my food,
my calories,
and I'm like, all right, cool, that's good, because it's better than what you were doing before. But is it enough to actually get the result that you want, which in this instance is abs and an elite physique? It's like, it's still not enough, and you've got to go through this whole learning curve of understanding, you know, food volume on your plate, things that I talk about all the time. You know, I had a client last week there in their check-in. They had beef mince. Funny enough, a same meal that I'd had. They had beef mince and like a couple hundred grams of potatoes. And they're like, I was just starving after that. And I'm like, how? I'm like, mine had a mountain of lettuce and cucumber, like all the free calories. I had just lettuce, tomato, cucumber, and I'm talking about twice the weight of the mince and the potatoes. So if there was 150 grams of beef mince and 200 grams of potatoes, I also had 200-300 grams of
veg.
salad on top of that. And like, just chuck the volume on, chuck the fibre on there, chuck the stuff that you're going to be able to actually sit here. You know, the little hacks and tricks that we learn along the way. You know, I ate that with a fork. And I chopped all the salad bits really fine, so all the cubes. So I'm like, it took me ages to just get all the bits to actually eat it. And it's like, that's just a skill that comes with time. I still now have people in their early stages of coaching where they're dieting and they've got, you know, they have some chicken breast for lunch. And I'm like, okay, it's protein and it's satiating, but you're going to be starving because you've just eaten a chicken breast.
You've eaten 150 grams of volume.
You could have eaten 600 grams of food. You could have. My lunch today was 150 grams of chicken breast with 700 grams technically of veg. It was condensed down, so I had chopped tomatoes in there, but chopped tomatoes and a load of courgettes. And I'm like 700 grams of veg. That was 3 hours ago. I'm not the slightest bit hungry, and it's a very low day of eating. I'm not hungry. It will carry me through to my next meal easy.
And I think the next biggest thing for me that always comes to mind is like, it's okay to be hungry. I think a lot of people are scared of being hungry. You're not gonna fucking die. There's people in other parts of the world that haven't eaten for weeks.
Yeah.
I'm sure they are actually way hungrier than you are, and they're still alive.
What a privilege to be able to choose to eat less food. It is hilarious. Do you know what is another one that I find that is a really good way of putting this? And this actually came about with a very good conversation I had with a client at 6 o'clock yesterday morning or Monday morning. Like I was having my coffee, I was just about to log on for work, and she put so much pressure on herself in this fat loss phase to hit a certain target. It was an arbitrary number as well. She wanted to hit a certain. She loves a GF podcast as well, so she'll eventually watch this and she'll be like, "Oh, it's me. He's talking about me." But she put so much pressure on herself to hit this target, and I was just reframing the way I like to coach. I always ask lots of questions, and I'm like, "Okay, cool, but what pressure for what?
Right,
like, you know, you're going on holiday." And the pressure is for an arbitrary number. Like, surely the goal should be to go away on holiday looking and feeling your best, right? So it's like reframing things once again. But she then, I quite like it sometimes when clients ask me the personal bit. They sort of go, and she did. She said, "Well, I've just seen you. You know, your dieting. I've seen on Instagram, and you know this whole getting shredded and the photo shoot you've just done and doing all this." And she went, "Surely you put that much pressure on yourself?" And I was like, "No." I was like, and she went, "How?" And it got me actually opening up, and I sent her a long message that she was like, "Wow, okay, that's actually amazing." And it was, too many people don't live present enough in the moment now. Yeah. I've coached so many people that when it's Monday, they're looking forward to the weekend. When it's the weekend, they're worrying about Monday. When they're at work, they can't wait for their next holiday. When they're on holiday, they're booking their next holiday. And I'm like, just fucking...
Live in the moment,
Just live in the moment. Today is Wednesday. I had to just check, right? This is what I'm trying to say. I had to check what day of the week it is, because I don't care if I'm doing this podcast now with my mate at 2 o'clock on a Wednesday afternoon, or if I'm sat on a beach in Thailand with my family at 4 o'clock on a Sunday. My attention right now is here. I'm not thinking about anything other than this conversation. And when it's time to spend the time with the family on the beach, it's like, cool, be present and enjoy that thing. And I think dieting is one of the few things that people really struggle with this concept, and it's a reminder that if you want to stay in good shape, this never ends. You don't diet your way to a good shape and then stop, right? It continues. You need to look, again, like clients where they go, "I'm fed up of diet now, I just want to come out of diet phase." I'm like, all right, fine, but you do know
what are you going to do different?
I'm like, you need to eat the same foods. You're just going to eat more of the same foods. And so the one thing I've got very good at doing over the years that I think is an absolute asset when it comes to fat loss is I just treat it daily. I just sit in and go, all right, today I've got to hit X amount of steps. Okay, cool. Well, the sun's out, so I'll go enjoy those steps, and I'll go out for my walk, and I'll do my bits and pieces. And like, today's a low day. My food is pretty damn low today. For me, I'm sitting at 2,000 calories today, and I'm sub 200 grams of carbs. It's low. This is low for me. I've got some of my female clients right now are on more food than I'm on today. And today I've had my yogurt with my berries in the morning. I had courgettes and a courgette and mushroom omelette as my meal too, with eggs. Banging. That was absolutely banging. Finished off under the grill, so I puffed it up so it's sort of extra volume. 2 courgettes, half a pack of mushrooms, and I just had a load of chicken with tons of veg. And my burger night tonight is going to be a burger bowl. But you wait till you see the mixing bowl of salad that comes with that. But it's just a case of like, nothing about today has been unenjoyable. Every single meal's been tasty. There's been elements of it that are just like like I say, the omelette. Every single meal today has been enjoyable. I haven't associated today with suffering at all, because I've managed to get to this point where I'm just present. I'm just like, it's meals that I have to eat today. So why sit here going,
and it's meals that you're gonna eat anyway. All right, you might have had rice or sourdough or
100%.
potatoes, but the concept of the meal is still the same. You're still having a burger bowl rather than a burger.
My meal structure never changes, and I say that, and it's one of the core lessons, because I don't meal plan. I macro coach my clients, but I do say to them, I'm like, we are still trying to create your own meal plan. The key is just being able to be flexible at times and flexible to change things out. When you also, there are times in a place where I go, today I don't fancy that. I fancy this. Can I fit this in? And you start to be able to go, yes, I can, or no, I can't, and start to play that game. But you're 100% spot on there. If right now, if overnight my calories became 5,000 from the 2,000 today, tomorrow's meal structure will be the same as today. There'll just be shitloads of oats and rice and medjool dates and all the usual that just goes on top. Nothing really changes. And so when you're able to translate this over, because again, I'll never forget, I got a comment, like I post my scrambled eggs. Obviously, I've been on there for a while because I haven't been having them. But when I post my scrambled eggs, I posted my scrambled eggs once when I was in Italy. I was away. I was somewhere. I was travelling. I was away. And someone replied and were like, fucking boring. Go get a cornetto from the coffee shop. And I was like,
why?
Why? And I was like, I'm not saying that I won't ever eat a pastry. Or that I'm like, but it's like when you have a routine and a diet, like one of my core values and beliefs is like build a life that you don't want to escape from. I don't really need holidays. When I go on holiday, I just do the same shit I do at home, just in a different place.
Country,
What I need is a change of scenery. That's what I need from a holiday. And I've got clients that they come back from a holiday and they go, I've got the post-holiday blues. I struggle to get back into the gym. I struggle to wake up. And I'm like, that's a life problem. That is literally a life problem.
You're trying to escape your life,
Correct. And I firmly believe the same with nutrition, because if you have a diet that you can't wait to cheat on, you have a problem. And I think this is where, for me, dieting is now a piece of piss. You've got muscle mass on top of wisdom and experience, and a diet that I have genuinely spent years choosing what I put in front of me, to a point where if I was in another country right now, I'm going straight to the supermarket to find my normal shop.
Yeah. And I'm the exact same. I'm literally the same as you. I had a client literally message me today. I'll literally read the message. It's like, been on Plan View for 3 years and I've never not tracked. I don't think I've ever went 1 week eating like a normal person. I was like, what would change? Like, what is a normal person? What, you go to Greg's?
What, do you want to go, and get a meal deal, get a Greg's sausage roll and a meal? Yeah, literally.
I said, the thing that's actually not normal, that these normal people think is normal, is that they have to think about what they want to eat rather than go, I'm just going to have this because it makes me feel good and I fucking enjoy it.
And I'm glad you mentioned feel good, because from a performance point of view, I tell you what happens to me, right? If I went away right now and I had a cornetto for breakfast with like a pastry,
I'm sleeping, man.
I'd be fucking sleepy. I'd feel like shit. I'd also be hungry after an hour after having blown 300 calories on a pastry. Then I'm going to start looking for more food, and all of a sudden you find yourself on this roller coaster of energy. Imagine I wanted to train that day. I'm probably going to go and have the worst training session, because
zero pump.
Everything's all over the place. Like, blood sugars all over the place. Protein's low, and I said, when you start to learn to associate these things, and it's less to do with your actual physique, and it's also more to do with how you feel, how your energy is. I know on a week like this, I've never been busier. I'm right bang now in the middle of 2 team photo shoots. The following week is the Team GF summer event. Tomorrow, I'm literally off. My to-do list for tomorrow is horrific. I've got so much. I'm looking at it now and I'm just like, fuck's sake, because it's just a long. This a whole day. It's a whole day that I need to. It's 12 hours. This is. I've literally put a timestamp on everything. So 2 hours to do that. 2 hours to do that. An hour to do that. An hour to do that. I've stacked it all up now. It's like, I'm so busy right now that. Why would I want shit energy? Why would I want tomorrow's training session to be shit? Like, the best thing I can do right now is, I'm in a fat loss phase, get the food where it's going to be, where it needs to be, that's going to optimize performance, cognitive performance, everything that I need in my life, and taste good. Because I think that's the thing that people struggle with. They've got this associate, like, I see it all the time. People's depression fucking meals when they're in a fat loss phase. 2 dry looking chicken breasts with like a rice cake or something on the side, and I'm like, this could be like the most colourful plate of food. You could have like 7 or 8 different vegetables on that plate right now. Like, I'm a big fan. I'm sure you're the same. I don't like eating one veg or one fruit.
It's got to be at least 3.
I always have at least 2 or 3.
Yeah.
At least 2 or 3 for me. So when I'm having even berries in the morning, it's always blueberries, strawberries, raspberries. I always have or 2 out of the 3.
Yeah.
When I like to, I don't actually put too much thought into it. I don't actually go down a rabbit hole of micronutrients. I just go 2 or 3 different veg is enough to tick that box. And I teach the same to my clients. I'm just get 2 to 3 instead of just having carrots. Just have carrots and green beans. Just have broccoli and cauliflower. Have get some colour on your plate. Like there's nothing. I mean, going back to holiday, I won't go off on a tangent now, but some of my favourite meals when I'm on holiday, I do tend to like backload the day a little bit. So as much as I eat normally, I still save myself a few extra calories just in case we're out for a restaurant in the evening, grab an ice cream with the kids or whatever afterwards. And ironically, one of my favourite meals of the day, I always have it whenever I'm on holiday anywhere. I kind of replace, depending on whether I'm training, depending on what time, but I have a big salad at some point. I just have a massive, so when I'm in Italy, for example, I always have a big salad, and I love the tuna in Italy. The tuna's just different, right? So I don't eat a lot of tuna here, for example, but I always have like tinned tuna salad with a couple of boiled eggs. So I'm kind of combining a couple of meals into this big salad. Now, every single time I have that salad, there's lettuce, cucumber, tomato. I love an Italian cold green bean salad, so I always get that on there. I love the artichokes, get the jarred artichokes. Like beetroot, I always get beetroot. And I sit there and go, my salad has like 8 different vegetables on it.
And like 5 different colours. And guess what? When it looks like that, your brain tells you it's going to be more enjoyable as well. It's like fucking common sense.
I post those on Instagram and people reply, they're like, man, that looks banging. I'm like, yeah, it's the best salad of the day because I'm having one every single day. But I'm like, it's this idea of dieting, diet food being miserable and it being a struggle to stick to. I'm like, that's a you problem. That's a learn to put together more attractive, more appealing meals that you actually enjoy.
Learn how to cook and being a fucking adult as well.
100%.
It's like, I like my food basically. Like, literally, one of my meals, all of my meals have been the same since I've been 18 years old. One of my meals when I'm on prep is literally beef, veg, ketchup and mustard. I literally have a burger bowl every day, and I'm like, the only thing that would change is I would put a burger in a wrap, in a fucking burger bun, and I've got the exact same thing just without the carbs.
Honestly, I say it like, there's me, I'm just saying how I always like to get 2-3 veg on the plate, but I say it to Sarah all the time, I say to my wife all the time, I'm like, sometimes my 3 ingredient dinners, like excluding seasoning, excluding like salt and pepper, like get a good quality steak, go get a fillet steak, get some wedges or some fries in the air fryer right now, and get some veg on the side. So whether we want to class that as a true 3 or if, like we just said, if we want to get 2 veg, we could still call it 3, right? If we just go, it's meat, it's potatoes, it's veg.
And mixed veg.
There's some of my favourite dinners. When I go get like some good quality sea bass or some nice fish or some salmon, I love my salmon. Whether my calories are low, whether my calories are high, it's just like salmon, potatoes, veg, steak, potatoes, veg. Like it doesn't like. Where's this desire for like how like you? Yeah, surely you just can't cook if those meals. If you're eating salmon and potatoes and it doesn't taste good, you can't cook.
Or you need to go and buy better salmon.
Yeah,
go and get some wild salmon and then
when I was going down the route of like the chip technician on Instagram and I was posting like when I was using the hair dryer on my chip, the amount of people that were, of course I was trying to just get a bit of bait on Instagram, but the amount of people that were like, oh, is that really worth the effort? And I was like, yeah. Because it's like my chips are now like, they are elite, they are crispy on the outside and they're banging in to a point where we have this discussion all the time. After I did my shoot a couple of weeks ago, I said to Sarah, I want burger night. I want to come home to burger night. She said, do you want to go for a Five Guys? I went, no. I want burger night at home. And I still had Leerdammer light, so we went for a lighter cheese, just one slice because I hadn't had a lot of dairy on the prep. So I was like, I don't want the digestive misery issues. And I said full fat mayo. I want truffle mayo. I wanted truffle mayo in it. Right. So short of that, it was still a sub 1,000 calorie massive portion of burger and chips that had like flavour in there. There was a red onion relish, there was truffle mayo, there was Leerdammer, and the chips that had been properly cooked to a point where like that was as good as anything out in a restaurant. I could have had that over a Five Guys all day long. It was banging. It was literally banging.
I literally the same. I come home after my show and he was like, what do you want to do? I was like, I just want a big bowl of cream of rice with all the toppings that I haven't been able to have.
A bit of dark chocolate,
honey, jam.
Same. Yeah.
I'm like, what? That I have that as a starter, and then I'll have fucking Chipotle as a main, like chicken
and
steak,
don't you find
rice,
and
a burrito.
Yep, banging. stuff you eat on a daily
Yeah.
basis, and mostly all pretty much whole foods. Yeah, it is baffling, and I think that's where, I mean, arguably we could probably finish this episode off with like a vastly improved relationship with food. I don't diet so that I can cheat on my diet at the weekend. I sit here now and actually, you know, we had this conversation the other day as well, where I said a lot of the time when we eat out on the weekend, it's a Nando's, it's a Turkish, it's something that's easy to like. I enjoy it.
It's the same
But
food
I'm
we eat anyway.
It's the same food I eat anyway. I sit here and now I'm like, we're not going out at a weekend and smashing pizza or, you know, like, so I'm just like, most of the time when I go out on a weekend, even when I end up in somewhere like, you know, I was at the Grove on Saturday and it was a case of all of everything they've got at the Glass House, everything they've got in the buffet, and it was like, I want sushi. I literally want fish and rice. I just want the foods that and then what happened is I looked full as fuck on Monday. I didn't have the digestive stress as if I'd gone for the roast dinner and all the stuff that would make me feel miserable for days. I got the best pump of my life on Monday that was just absolutely obscene. Yeah, it's just you completely change that relationship with food.
Yeah, but I think the relationship with food is also a choice in the sense of people that say they have a bad relationship with food are choosing to have a bad relationship. They're victimising them. I've got a bad relationship. I've got a bad relationship with money, but you know I fucking gamble every day. It's the same thing. It's like if you give power to something, then of course you have a bad relationship with it.
Yeah, agreed. So, build more fucking muscle, spend more time, and learn how to fucking cook.
And do it more.